That's right. So this is a situation that many Americans may not know too much about. So can you explain in layman's terms what's going on between these two?
Yes, I'd love to. It's a David versus Goliath situation here where I'm located. We have on our east the country of Azerbaijan, country of 10 million people with sophisticated Israeli weaponry, oil-rich country, and Turkey to our west, a country of 83 million people that are aiding the country of Azerbaijan, attacking a little Republic of Artsakh called Nagorno-Karabakh. There's only 150,000 people in this area, and we have Armenia that is right next to us with only 3 million people. We're kind of sandwiched in between these two Turkic countries, and they began to attack on September 27th at 6 in the morning.
So do you see any shadows from the last century, the 20th century, with the Armenian Genocide, with Turkey's unofficial support for Azerbaijan?
Absolutely. You know, 1918, the Ottomans aided the Azeris in massacring Armenians in the city of Baku, and that was in 1918. So the Armenian Genocide was in 1915, and that's when they killed 1.5 million Armenians. And they were doing the same thing in this region at that time as well. And so you can see the fear that we have here being in this land, again, that there is a Turkic revival to finish the job. Even Tayyip Erdogan had mentioned that this year.
It's very scary what's going on. Do you think that religious conflict has anything to do with this strife as well between Christians and Muslims?
I would say it's very complicated, but I would say that religion does play a key role because people act out of their presuppositions. And if they are Muslims, they must adhere to their primary source documents, which are the Quran or the Hadith. And it is clear that it says in the Quran, it says in chapter 9, verse 29, they are to attack those that don't believe in Allah and subdue them. And so I think there is a religious aspect to this, and also a pan-Turkic aspect where Turkey really wants to unite the Turkic world under an Islamic Turkic caliphate.
And you've spoken before about disinformation regarding this conflict. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. You know, if you look at the Freedom for the Press Index, Azerbaijan is 168 of in all of the countries that are listed there. It's from 1 to 180, and they're 168. So they really are not a trustworthy news source in their media because they're controlled by a dictatorial government, by Ilham Aliyev. And so I noticed from the day one of the war, they said that they were attacking all of these Armenian villages and they were doing all of these things. And all the people were running and they had conquered all of these places. And I called my friends up that live in that region and they said, we haven't left our villages, we're fine. And I knew from the day one that they were going to lie about this war, and they have every single day about, there's disinformation on the Turkish side, the Azeri side. I could give many examples.
So where you're living right now, what are you hearing from people on the ground?
Well, I know people here want peace. The church community here, the Christian community here gets together and they pray on a daily basis, some groups for 2 hours straight. Some people are fasting. There's fasting starting this day for the next 21 days. People are fasting and praying. They want peace. They want this to stop. And they're sad because they have to send their sons to go defend this land from this aggressor. It was an unprovoked action. And so the people are sad. They're worried for their sons that have to defend their land. But the Christians have come together to pray for peace, and we hope that will happen soon.
And I'm hearing some reports as well that some, I believe, Armenian soldiers have been decapitated. Have those claims been verified at all?
Those claims have been verified. In all the news outlets here, the funeral for this young man was just performed recently. And that was on October 16th that this soldier that was actually, he was taken as captive by the Azeri soldiers. And they called the man's brother and taunted him and said, we have your brother here. And then they decapitated this soldier, and this is a human rights violation. And then they sent this picture all through social media. And it's just interesting. It happens to be the exact same day that another Muslim man, a Chechen in France, killed the French teacher.